Here's a game, Mixon from 1814. Okay, let's try a Sicilian. A bishop c4. A little bit of an offbeat line there. It's not supposed to be good because black can gain a tempo on that bishop with an early d5, but that never amounted to a whole lot. Is d4? d4 seems unusual to me. I could take it and then play, I could take the pawn and then play d5 myself. His bishop retreats. Sort of looks like a French defense if that pawn comes forward. If the bishop retreats here, I'll actually win a pawn, at least for a little bit, by taking. Okay, so he moves with a tempo. Let's block the check with the bishop. Keep things hanging there, defend with the queen. Yeah, so if he pushes, and it's like a French defense where I've gotten rid of my problem bishop, so it should be good for me. How long do I want to sit here with this, with my king side locked up? No, I think this is not bad. I can immediately play knight to f5 here and pile up on the d pawn. He hasn't got his light squared bishop to trade off that knight with. Let's see, and let's get my bishop outside the pawn chain. I didn't want to play bishop to e7, which otherwise might be a reasonable move, because it blocks this retreat square for the knight. Sometimes white can play a move like g4 there, kick that knight, and it might run out of reasonable squares. So he wants to trade bishops, huh? Let's just castle. Let's see. If I castle, then he trades. There's no check or anything. No tricks. It's just a trade. And my knight on b4 there would be poised to jump into c2. I have to play rook c8, knight c2. That's what I'm thinking. Hit the rook in the corner. More pressure again on the d pawn. And developing a piece. So this all looks pretty good to me. Yeah, there are certain transpositions from the Sicilian defense to the French defense. It's kind of funny. Okay, so he's going to kick me back to c6 immediately. I'm just wondering if a6 is a little better, but knight can't go to c5. Could go to c7 and then to b5, but just directly to c6 seems fine. Then let's stop those pawns from rushing forward and put a rook on the c file. This knight is loose here, so I'm threatening to take and hit his knight. I see. He's going to bring his knight into c5 there, and I can't immediately contest that because, well, for example, I can't play b6 right away. So I should move somewhere maybe to prepare b6, like well, actually, after his knight moves, then I can play b6 anytime, as long as I just need to protect the a pawn. Let's bring my queen over here to the king side, looking at the king side. So if he plays knight to c5, maybe I'll play rook a6 and pawn to b6. Rook a8 to defend the a6 pawn. And then pawn to b6 to kick the knight out of there. That is a good square for the knight, so maybe maybe I didn't play this the best way, but anyway, here we go. He's going to I need to pause to defend the knight. He had this oh no, that wouldn't have worked. Would it have? Yeah, b6, knight takes a6. I take the knight, he takes my knight. And there was a pawn on b6, so my rook was not defending the knight there. So I have to defend the knight. So now I am threatening a6, or b6 once again. Ah, yeah, that's what I was saying about this knight. Okay. Let's kick his knight first. Let's see, I can go to a6, and if he pushes the pawn, then I can go back to, I can go to h6, and if he pushes the pawn, I can go back to f5. So I shouldn't lose that knight there. But I thought this trade would be okay for me, too. Maybe not. Maybe his pawn structure is better after this trade. If he takes with the b pawn, for example, he has a passed pawn, and I would take here on I would take on f5. So he would have the better pawn structure in the center and the passed pawn. I would have a weakened king side to play against. So there's still quite a bit of force on the board. Okay, so he wants to weaken. He wants to weaken my king side too. Yeah, so I think he just has to take back. I don't know why he's hesitating here. Well, he could throw in that move, sure, but then I will just keep taking here. Either way, I get a pawn. I thought it was better for him to take my pawn. Maybe it works out about the same. He can take here with the knight. Yeah, the thing about this one is it leaves his passed pawn isolated, so it's no longer a protected passed pawn. And let's see, I have this check, so let's go ahead and use that. Pick up a pawn in the center here. And then watch out for the check on the G file. Always a danger. And good thing he doesn't have any bishops. But in this case, I don't have to worry about the skewer along this diagonal, except he could use that to force a queen trade, I suppose. Okay, let's see. Let's push this forward. I want to get a little space so that I can hide my queen behind here. He was attacking the f-pawn too. And I figured that one, so I wanted to drop back here. Now he's left his c-pawn hanging. Does he want to give up his passed pawn? We will see. Okay, he does. He's going to double. Maybe there's a problem here. We'll see. I want to be on the back rank, I think. I can play rook to... yeah, I can play rook to g1 here. Oh, this is one of those checkmating tricks, isn't it? So if I play rook to g8, rather, and he sacrifices his queen on h7, I take with the king, then he can bring this rook over to check. And it looks like a mate, except in this case I can interpose with my queen. takes, I take, and I've still got 2 rooks and he has 1, so I can still play this. Gotta look for those traps though. This is very dangerous when your king runs out of space over here on the side of the board. So my plan is just to trade off 1 pair of rooks to make this a little easier to defend. Also, if his rook leaves the back rank, I have a check on A1 that's useful to know about. Yep, it's a cute trick, but it actually doesn't work because there's no longer a pin. Yeah, right. There's no longer a pin once the rooks are traded off. So anyway, that was a nice game. I will upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.